Happy Budget Eve.
Yeah, I know. It's all kicking off tomorrow. And it looks like a lot of parents out there are going to be pretty happy.
Yeah, this is a nice little bonus that the Department of Education has obviously got out there. So free school books for primary school children have been worth about €110 a year to most families with kids there, and at a cost of about just under €50 million to the state. So it's one of those ones. These are the ones we're really looking out for now. We've kind of got the big stuff leaked and the big stuff's been out there for a while. It's like, what are the little goodies that are going to come in over the next while?
Now, the thing is about this is when you're buying school books every single year, is there not something to be said for tying the school books to the class so that they can be used for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years rather than having.
But what about all the additions?
That's what I'm saying. When you change one sum and you have to get a new edition,
one little paragraph.
Can they not tackle that side of the industry rather than going, we're going to buy new books every single year? Of course, I found a problem with something that's actually a very good thing.
Yeah, well, no, look, it is very good for primary school children that are going to get it, but the school book industry is just something that really annoys me and really annoys a lot of people who actually have, like, I don't even have kids and I get annoyed by it because it's such a rip-off. But, like, you had even passing them down to your younger brother or your younger sister or whatever, and it's like, oh no, sorry, you're 2 years old, that means your history book is out of date. We added so much in the meantime. Or there's one as well that I heard recently, I was talking to a friend of mine who's kids and was saying that they had the iPads, so you're not buying the books, you're not meant to buy the books, you have to buy the programme, but to get the code, to get the app on your thing, you have to spend the 60 quid on the book in the first place. So yes, there'd be a lot of people looking at this going, well, I have children in secondary school and I'm paying whatever, €1,400 a year, I think it is, to get them back to school, and this won't help me. But if you're in primary school, hey, ACES, they got their books.
So the government, they know this as well. Yeah. But they're just like, we're just going to have to pay for it. This is just going to put a smile on a few parents' faces. Let's just get on with it. Well,
this is one that kind of screams to me, look, small win, and €110, not to be sniffed at the moment, just putting back in your pocket every September.
Two or three kids in
That
primary school.
adds up fairly quickly, So it is a good one. I think the issue that you're seeing with the Department of Education, that you're going to see with all departments, there's actually not a huge amount of money to go around on the regular day-to-day stuff that affects you every year this year, because they're pumping so much into this cost of living package. So there's going to be, if you look at the social welfare, for example, that's one of the things that's still kind of to be decided today, and they're talking about how much it's going to go up. €15 is the number that's been put out there, and they're debating whether it'll be that or whether it'll be 10 across the board. If it's 15, that costs €1.1 billion to do.
Wow.
They only had
1.1
billion. They only had 2.3 billion of extra spending to go anyway. So straight away, half of that has gone on a €15 rise. So giving everyone a little actually costs a huge amount of money. So that's where they're running into difficulty finding this money now.
What about school buses? Because that was a good thing that they were trying to do, but then, of course, thousands of school kids are going to school at the minute, or having to follow behind the bus in the car.
Yeah, it was one of these really nice announcements. Oh, great, you have free transport to school. And then suddenly loads of people wanted it. Shock horror. And now it does seem like Laura Foley has gotten a bit of extra money to put on extra buses, because most of this is done through Bus Éireann, hiring out private buses. A lot of people who had been on it the last few years lost out in their places. So it looks as though they're going to get them. Whether they actually get them for this year is going to be the question. I think we haven't answered yet, or whether this is something that, OK, we're making it free for next year as well, and we have the extra capacity.
They need to recruit bus drivers. That was a huge issue as well. I'd love to know, parents, what you think about this. It seems like it's all good. 0896 111 111. So free primary school pupils will be getting free school books. What do you make of the whole school book industry? Like, is it easier to kind of have one book with the class for 5 years rather than rebuying them all the time?
Are people who aren't parents, is this frustrating?
Oh, here we go.
When you see this money being spent on something like you're saying, with those school books and new editions, it's kind of money down the drain, in a sense, from that point of view. Well, with the new books, with the new editions every year, having to get new books, like, should schools be able to just use the same one on a 5-year cycle?
Yeah, it's hardly environmentally friendly.
You can understand how some of them would need an update, particularly with the new subjects that are coming in, or the curriculum does changes, and they're doing big curriculum reviews. But the other ones,
history.
Like history, exactly.
Yeah.
Pythagoras' theorem has been around for a while.
Maths is not changing that much.
No, it's not. Also, there is something very good in this. A boost in spending on special education is going to lead to the creation of 370 more classes for pupils with additional needs next September. And we have seen parents who are still writing letters and emails to principals in September, trying to get a place for their children with additional needs.
Yeah, they're screaming out for it. So thankfully, there is going to be extra classes, probably into next year's budget. There's also going to be extra money in there for schools to actually meet their bills, because this is one we've talked about, actually, I think, on the show before, whereby the bills for every school is going up. Quite often you see that passed on to the parent through the voluntary so-called contribution. They're actually going to get extra capitation grants on that. Another bit that was in the budget that was announced actually last week that's really good, I think, on schools, is solar panels on top of every school in the country.
Oh, excellent.
To actually help them meet their bills and sort of reduce the cost on the grid. And the final one, that we have out this morning, is the student-teacher ratio. It's going to be reduced 24 to 1 at the minute, down to 23 to 1. Now, we're still much bigger classes than the European average. I think the European average is 20
yeah.
to 1.
Yeah.
So, but it's a step in the right direction. So a few good bits in the education budget.
Absolutely.